Let me start by telling you none of these people work. The 15-year-old's not in school. Every one of them lied about everything. And as I lay this out, you'll understand all the confusion. Let me start with Jace Gavia, who's 23, and Pierre Salvire, who's 34. They're cousins. Not only are they cousins, well, I guess they kind of work. They run a trap house, or as it's known in the neighborhood, the Weed House. And Jace is known as the Weed Man. So I'm going to talk today about the foundation of all of this problem. It's that thing that people want to call low-level, nonviolent drugs, marijuana. You know, it's not a problem. Well, it's not a problem until you get a 15-year-old kid shot and killed, right?
Oh,
So
he got
anyway,
killed?
Jace, and we don't want to forget him, he just got out of prison where he did 5 years. And this was having to do with shootings, right? Pierre, in 2013, got out of prison after doing 4 years for robbery and burglary and child neglect. So let me take them off the page for a minute, because on that particular night of this event,
child neglect.
at their
It sounds like he broke into his baby mama's house. That's what it sounds like.
trap house, this all happened at the Weed House. Pierre was in a short-term rental up at the northeast area of the county, so he wasn't directly involved in this. I highly suspect he was either partying or selling dope, or both. Jace was apparently in the Weed House when the shooting occurred, and of course, knowing the cops are coming and the shooting outside, he flees. So we're back to an event, and here's what happened. Jace talked to Lilia, who lives across the street. Lilia is a convicted felon. She wants a firearm. She can't buy it legitimately because she's a convicted felon. She has to buy it off of the street. So when Lilia tells Jace, I need a firearm, he refers her to Rashawn. Rashawn's 20 years of age. Now listen to this a minute.
I gotta hear
Listen
this story.
clearly.
Let me
He's
turn this
20
down.
years of age. He's already got 53 felony charges lodged against him.
Damn.
26 misdemeanor charges lodged against him. And he's been to prison. That's right. So he just got out of jail. He got a year sentence in jail. So, I mean, we take him out of the ability to commit crime for a year, and he's still got 53 felonies and 26 misdemeanors. I digress. So let me get back to the storyline. So Jace hears from Lilia, I want to buy a gun. I'm a convicted felon. She hooks him up with Rashawn. Rashawn's in Bartow now. So Lilia and Rashawn meet up at a Circle K, and guess what? Rashawn sells Lilia a gun. So here's the gun that Rashawn sells to Lilia. Did I happen to mention to you that the gun is stolen in a burglary out of Lakeland, where Rashawn's suspected of committing the burglary? They negotiate the price. Lilia agrees to paying $200. So now Lilia has a gun that she takes back to her house, which is across the street from the Weed House. So Rashawn calls Lilia up and says, hey, I want to give you some more bullets or sell you some more bullets. And Lilia thinks this is an odd statement, but hey, what the heck? She gives Rashawn her address. Rashawn, in the meantime, this is Monday, September the 11th.
He tries to rob her.
when this conversation takes place, it's about 10:30 at night. So Rashawn then goes by and picks up Quashan, who's 15 years of age.
Man,
So Rashawn and Quashan go to Winter Haven. Rashawn is going to deliver bullets to Lilia. What he really wants to do is hook up and have sex. And then they're up there, they're going to buy some marijuana. So Quashan gets in the car with Rashawn to go buy marijuana, and Rashawn's going to hook up with Lilia. So they arrive there. It's sometime just before midnight. Quashan is no place to be seen. He's out of the car. When Lilia comes out and gets in the front passenger side of Rashawn's car. Well, they talk about bullets and they talk about sex. Lilia has a purse with money in it. While Lilia is talking to Rashawn, she says, things don't seem just right here. And about that time, Quashan opens the passenger door and starts trying to rob Lilia at gunpoint.
Told you, he set up the robbery.
So Quashan supposedly, according to everything we can put together, he's 15, is trying to rob Lilia at gunpoint. Lilia's fighting to hold on to her purse that's strapped across her body. Quashan's trying to pull her out of the car or pull the backpack kind of pocketbook deal off of her. Well, apparently, they forgot they sold her this gun. So now Lilia pulls the gun out of the pocket because she's being robbed at gunpoint and shoots Quashan, who's robbing her. Did you hear what I said? You can't make this stuff up. So knowing that they had given her a gun early and she's going out to set with Rashawn, she puts the gun in her pocket so she has it. And when Quashan decides he's going to rob Lilia, she shoots him. And down he goes. So she runs into her home. Rashawn takes off and leaves Quashan dead in the driveway.
That nigga is doing life in prison. He will never see daylight again. That was capital murder in Florida. He's done.
Lays there about 2 hours. Lily goes into the house. She goes, I can't stay here. The cops are certainly on their way. So she leaves and she's hiding for the next 3 days. She finally comes back on Friday morning of that week, and we grab her up. Now, I want to say something. Rashawn's charged with felony murder.
Done.
Because Quashan is killed in the process of committing a felony against Lilia. Follow me? Rashawn's mother is an honorable woman. She said, I'd not had Rashawn in this house in 6 months. He's a grown man. He wouldn't behave. He was a criminal. Rashawn's mother is a wonderful, wonderful lady. And looked Rashawn in the eye and told him, you need to cooperate this. You got yourself into trouble. You need to cooperate with law enforcement. She dressed him down in the presence of deputies. Rashawn's mother did what mothers should do, and that's to make sure their children are held accountable. So he gave us a story. Quashan can't talk to us. Obviously, he's deceased, and he's only 15 years of age, and he's a gang member. Lilia said, I was being robbed, and I defended myself. At this point in the investigation, she is apparently the victim of a robbery, whereby she defended herself and shot the suspect, Quashan. And Rushan confirms that.
Mm-hmm.
She's still under investigation, and we've arrested her for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, tampering with evidence. Oh, by the way, she had a lot of cocaine and marijuana at her house. She was a drug dealer. So I guess when I said they all weren't working, at least this one, and this one selling drugs. So maybe that's their job. We have filed dozens of charges against these 4 folks. That investigation is still underway. But
those charges on these 2 are not going to stick. Those are just Florida charges to try to get on the snitch. They're not going to stick. They don't have nothing to do with this. Nigga, I called this guy and told him about a gun. She want a gun, I hollered at this guy. I don't give a fuck else, whatever the fuck y'all talking about. I don't have nothing to do with. So these 2 out of the equation. If they got caught with drugs, they'll probably do a little bit of time for that. But other than that, these 2 are good. But they just love doing stuff like this, just to get people to talk. They throw charges on people. These charges ain't gonna stick. These 2 are going home. They didn't have nothing to do with this. She wanted a gun. I told her I referred her to a friend. That's it. She did business with that friend multiple times. I had no idea what they were doing. I have nothing to do with this. Free me now. These 2 are free. This girl, she's free too, because even though she did buy a gun, actually she's not free. She has a gun charge, so she does have to deal with that. So she'll probably get away with. So depending on how her criminal history, she might get off with probation, because it's a gun in it, but it is Florida, so it's not like it's the end of her life. Everybody gets found with guns in Florida, so she'll be okay. And it's stand your ground law. This nigga tried to rob her. Bam. She had no choice. Killed him. This nigga set it all up. None of this would happen if it wasn't for this guy who's been in jail 56 times. So he will never see daylight again, ever again in his life. And obviously, he will never see daylight on this earth because he has passed away. So unfortunately, this is what stupidity gets you. You want to, instead of making good business, you decided you wanted to rob the person you just sold your shit to. This guy was no good. He's been no good. His mom knows he's no good. He's always been no good. So that's how it is. But that's another day in the streets of Florida. So he's done. These 2 are free. I would be mad that they even put. Why the fuck you put my face on there, bro? You making it seem like I killed this little nigga. I have nothing to do with this. Notice he didn't even tell us these two charges, because that means they don't have shit. They know they don't have shit, but they threw it on them anyway. That's a Florida shit for you. Anyway, so that's done. Unfortunately, them boys are slayed. This nigga slayed. He's done. He's done. She's possession of a gun in Florida. That ain't shit. Nigga, no one cares about guns in Florida. And she protected herself, stand your ground. And it's over with. There's nothing you can do. Obviously, he's